Here are 5 habits that have drastically changed my life. And if you feel like you're stuck in a rut and not seeing any type of progress, maybe you want to implement some of these things into your life. You have to realize that small habits and small actions done over a long period of time result in progress. It's not the 1 or 2 big things that you do overnight that results in the success and the progress. It's a small habit, small tweaks that you make in your habits and personality that can potentially have that butterfly effect into becoming the top individual or person you want to be 1 year, 6 months, 5 years, 10 years down the road. And here are my 5 habits. So habit number 1 is that I invest a lot in personal development. I've been doing personal development since I was 20 years old, and now I'm in my 30s. So over 15 years of personal development. And when I read these books and listen to a podcast and audibles and Spotify and watch YouTube videos, I make sure they're conducive to my growth. I watch and listen to these books and read these books because they help me think outside the box. I, as a person, have my own experiences, but if I want to get access to the experiences of Steve Jobs or Warren Buffett or Mark Cuban or Mark Zuckerberg, Tony Robbins, I can get access to their mindsets and habits by reading the books and the biographies, and then take those habits and their experiences and integrate them into my own life and internalize them. And I can pick and choose what I want and can see what's helpful for me or what's not. But if you really absorb like 20% of what they say and take 1 or 2 things out of all the things they talk about, and you internalize into your life, then you'll start to notice that if you start doing these things on a small incremental basis over a long period of time, your life will completely change. So reading books as Think and Grow Rich, which was one of the first books I read almost 15 years ago. I read that book 7 times in my life already. Every time I read that book, I just get a different meaning out of it, because the first time I read that book, I was coming out of school, my first job, my mindset was completely different. When I read that book, I had a lot of abstract topics inside that book that I couldn't comprehend, but I knew was very interesting and it resonated with me, that you're able to think outside the box, you're able to create value in the world and get paid relative to the value that you provide, but not trade your time in for money. So it made me think outside the box, and that one book led me to Amazon. I bought another 30, 40 more books in this whole personal development space, and now years and years later, I've read hundreds of books because I'm a big proponent of accessing the mindsets, hacks, and habits of some of the most successful people. I want to learn how they think. What do they do in daily? What makes them so unique and different? They've figured out something I have not. Another book I recommend is reading is Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss. The book is divided into 3 sections: health, wealth, and mindset. The book's about almost 600 pages, but the 3 sections are divided into small chapters which are maybe 2 to 3 pages long. So he interviews some of the world's most successful people in those 3 specific areas: health, wealth, and mindset. And he interviews them and puts their thoughts and habits, life advice into these books. What does it take to be successful in making money? What does it take to be successful in having a strong, bulletproof mindset? What does it take to be successful in living a long, healthy life? And so when you read that book, you'll get little excerpts, little pieces of advice from hundreds of world's most successful people. I love that book. It's one of my favorite books. So I suggest you guys get into personal development and make that part of your daily routine. My daily routine is I wake up, shower, and the first thing I do is spend about 1 hour on personal development. I shut off notifications on my laptop, my phone, no emails, nothing, no social media. I put a timer on and spend 1 hour reading, doing personal development, which includes reading the book, an audible version or a physical book, and listening to it at the same time simultaneously. So when you read a book and you listen to it, you got your auditory and you got your visual kinesthetics at the same time. If you just read it, you might get bored. If you just listen to it, it becomes passive. If you listen to it and you read at the same time simultaneously, you absorb it much more. Absorption rate is much higher. It's proven by science. So that's why personal development is so important. I wouldn't be the man, the person I am today. I wouldn't have ideas if it wasn't for personal development. I contribute all my success to the stuff I learned from other people, and I take no credit for the success I had. I give all my credit away to other people I learned stuff from. I would not be where I am if it wasn't for these other amazing entrepreneurs and world thought leaders and who was specialized in these specific things. So habit number 2 is working out. You have to take care of your health. Wealth and everything else is relevant if you don't work out. You need to take care and you need to eat well. I religiously work out about 4 days a week. My workout sessions are different than other people's workout sessions. Some people will go jog for half an hour and do yoga. So my workout sessions are about 90 minutes to 2 hours long. It consists of stretching for about 10 minutes, running 1 mile on the treadmill just to warm up, and then I get into 90 minutes strength training, which is split into different body parts depending which day it is. And I'll switch it up. So one day I'll do maybe chest and tricep, I'll do back and bicep, I'll do shoulders, and I'll do legs. And at the end of every workout, I'll leave 15 minutes for an ab workout. I love just keeping myself fit and tight. My goal is mostly strength training and keeping fit and toned. Other people have bodybuilding and muscle building, which I do too, but because of my schedule, it's hard to maintain that. But I'm I'm a pretty fit person for my age, so I just focus on maintaining what I have, and I enjoy it. It gives me a lot of energy. It makes me feel better. As a result, the energy I get from that, I can take and put into other areas in my life. Business, travel, coming up with ideas, recording content like this for you guys. I have a limited amount of energy, but if I don't work out, don't take care of myself, I can't take care of these other tasks I need to complete. So it's another life hack. Habit number one, personal development, and also working out. Habit number two, when I was a young kid, I was fat and chubby and out of shape, and I got made fun of. So that stuck with me for life. It caused me to have self-esteem issues. So now, over the last 15, 16 plus years, I religiously work out until I'm 80, 90 years old. God tells me you can't work out anymore. I'm going to continue working out. I don't care. It's a part of my identity. It's part of my lifestyle. So you guys have to make working out and eating well part of your identity, and don't let anybody or anything distract you, because you have one body and one life, and you need to take care of it. Your body is your temple, and you need to respect it. It only respects you. It'll give you what you need if you give it the right inputs. The outputs are based off their inputs. If you have a car and you put 30, 40, 50,000 miles on the car, you don't take it for a checkup, you don't take it for an oil change and maintenance, what's going to happen? It's going to break down. If you put a lot of garbage in your body and you don't exercise it, don't maintain it, and give it a proper rest, it's going to break down too. You're going to experience physical burnout, and if physical burnout goes long enough, then what's going to happen is you get mental burnout, which takes weeks and months to recover from. So that's why I think it's important to take care of yourself. Habit number three is the ability to say no. You have a limited amount of time per day, and as you get older, whether you're going to school, you start a business, you have family, you have kids, you have more kids, taking your parents, traveling, your time becomes more and more limited. We all have a social circle. I have a massive social circle, but my closest friends I can count on one hand, and the limited time I do have socially, which is typically Friday night, maybe for a couple hours, or maybe Saturday night for a couple hours to hang out with my friends, spend time with them. I had to be very careful who I allocate to that time, because there's a bit of ROI involved. I don't want to be hanging out with people that are going to be negative and toxic in any way, shape, or form. There's no room in time for that. There's problems happen all around the world, and everybody has problems, from the poor to the rich. Every single people, that spectrum, and in between, everybody has problems. But if you are not a person who's a problem solver and all you're doing is bitching and complaining and being negative, I don't want to be around you. So I have to learn to say no to those people, because like all they do is bitch and complain. You don't want to be around that. You want to be around negativity. So you have to be very careful, and people will want your time. On social media, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and all these platforms, people will message you, send you memes and stupid shit all the time. And you don't want to be in a situation where all you're doing is interacting in that, and it's gonna suck up your time. And by the time you know, your time is completely gone. So you have to be very careful where you allocate your time to and who you allocate your time to. And you have to set parameters and limitations of who can have your time. What I've learned to do is, if you're able to assign a dollar value to your time, so you're like, I'm worth $1 million or $10 million or $100,000, whatever your time is worth, for 1 year, you can divide that by 365, and you can take that 365, and you know one day how much your time costs, and you take that divided by 24 hours in a day, 1 hour, 1 unit of your time, how much it costs. So when you give it away to a task or somebody, how much you're losing or gaining. It's not you're trying to be an a-hole, it's just you have to value your time. Especially if you have big goals to achieve, the right people understand that you have goals to achieve, and you can't just let random people just take your time and just waste it. You cannot get into that routine. They'll suck up all your time, and a lot of these people are going nowhere in life. They just want to waste time. When weekend comes around, they will go to bars and clubs, and even weekdays. People will suck up your time for the most random, stupidest shit. So you have to, in a loving, caring way, say no. And if people can't respect that, and you have to distance yourself, you have to set limitations. You have to set a fence around your time. Your family, your friends, goes to everybody. If you don't set regulations, if you can't say no, it's going to be very hard for you to see any type of progress in life. It's called discipline. So that's habit number 3. I remember early on in life, I was working on myself. I used to say yes to everybody. I just wanted to be a people pleaser. And I'm sure many of you can relate that you're trying to just make everybody happy, your friends, family. And by the time you get home, it's just, you feel empty because you give all your energy away to somebody else and there's other people around you, and you have nothing to show. Like, your own bank account is completely empty. And I'm talking about money-wise. It's just your mental, your emotional, your energy bank account is completely empty. It's completely drained because you give all your energy away to other people, trying to make them happy. You can say yes to everybody. If you learn to say no, you're able to take that energy and use it for the things that you actually really want to accomplish. Granted, some people love just spending time with other people and that's what they love about life, and just giving all their time away, which is fine. But all I'm saying is that you should allocate your time to the things that you want to get done in life, not what other people want to do with your time. Value your time and people will respect that. Habit number 4, you have to build systems and stay organized. I'm a very systematic person. Every project, everything I do, whether it's traveling the world or going on vacation or it's working out, I measure everything. If I'm going to Japan next week, or if I'm going to work out, or if I'm going to eat, or I have a date, or I'm trying to record content, or I'm trying to do this, I measure everything. I use Microsoft OneNote for the last 10 plus years to keep notes of everything. I have different tabs for different projects. I'm super organized. I have checklists. I have a grand goal I want to accomplish, and then I have tasks I need to do to get to that grand goal, and I have subtasks that I need to accomplish to complete that one task, which will help me ultimately get to that grand goal. So whatever goal you're trying to accomplish, everything can be reverse engineered. And if you're not organized and you don't have systems, it's going to be virtually impossible to do so. You have to be able to measure results, and the only way you can do that is through results and data and building systems. And most things are not scalable without systems. If you want to scale something, you need to systemize it, because if you can step away from it and the system is still running, even better, because now you have your time back and the system is running. But you have to spend time building a system that's organized. And you can hire people, or you can bring people on, accountability partners, to basically help you stay organized. Yeah, there's unlimited apps on the App Store you can use to have a checklist. Just like if you go to a grocery store, like I ran out of milk, I ran out of bread, I ran out of orange juice and yogurt and this, you have a checklist. You can do the same thing on your daily activities. I need to lose 10 pounds. How to lose 10 pounds? I need to cut down my calories this much. If you measure calories, I need to work out this much. If you do that over an extended period of time, you will see results. If you can't measure it, how are you going to know if you're getting results or not? So building systems and staying organized is super important. I have, at any point in time, 5 different businesses and 5 different companies I'm working on a different project. And for me to not lose my mind, I had to build systems to stay organized. Either you become a project manager. If you're not, you find a project manager to hold you accountable. You can hire a project manager overseas in India and Philippines, or really cheap. And there's a bunch of tools out there, but just the first step is creating a task list, what you need to do, and having a task in front of you every single day. Every morning you wake up, and by the time you go to sleep, you're looking at the task of what have you accomplished, what have you not accomplished. Some tasks might take a couple of minutes, might take a couple hours, some might take a couple of days. Some tasks you have to involve other people, you have to rely on their work as well to get the task done. But it's just staying organized and staying structured. That is habit number 4. That's helped me tremendously. Habit number 5 is you have to become comfortable becoming uncomfortable. For you to only step out of your comfort zone is that you have to step into the uncomfortable zone until that zone becomes comfortable. And it's anything you do in life, whether learning how to swim, riding a bike. I remember when I was younger, I was trying to learn how to ride a bike. I just couldn't get on the bike when I was about like 11, 12 years old. I couldn't get on the bike, and I just couldn't get the balance right. My mom took me to a park that had a steep hill, and I was on my bike trying to balance it, and she just kept on telling me, you used to go. It's impossible to balance it in one area. And we came to a hill, and she just gave me a bit of a nudge, and I was able to take my bike and go down. I was going at a pretty decent speed, and while I was going down, I was able to just balance it. So you have to just go. You have to try. If you stand still, it's going to fall over. You have to take action. Whether you have social anxiety, you're trying to talk to people, you're uncomfortable talking to people. I grew up with social anxiety growing up. I came from a very religious household, and my mom and dad kept me suppressed at home because I was a Muslim growing up, and they worried about me going out and hanging out with the wrong people. I grew up with social anxiety. I couldn't talk to people. How did I get out of social anxiety? What did I do to get out of that? Because social anxiety, it's mostly just mental limitations. You're just worried about what other people are going to think about you. You overanalyze stuff, and that prevents you from going out and having more interactions because you're worried about the negative things they might say about you, they're thinking about you. There's a negative connotation behind it. So the way you get out of that is you go out and talk to as many people as possible. So you get those experiences, that programming inside your head, and become part of your memory bank. So what I actually do is to get over social anxiety, I just go and talk to 5, 6, 7 people random every single day. And until I became comfortable. Initially it's very awkward. I'm like, how far can I take this conversation with this random person I just met? Initially it was very awkward. Over a period of time, I got better and better at it. And to a point, I was able to control the conversation any way I want. I became really good at social psychology and building a network because I was going through these issues that I had. I was very uncomfortable. So I became uncomfortable with socializing. So I made myself even more uncomfortable, and I put myself in a situation where I would just continuously do it until that skill became very comfortable for me. The whole networking and also going and talking to higher level people. These higher level people get hit up all the time. The successful people, they have very limited time. And as much as they love to, like I get hit up all the time, like Instagram, for example. I just don't have time to respond to everyone. But if you come across and you just provide some of a value to me, or if I provide some of a value to you, I'm trying to get your attention, how can I help you instead of just asking for help? That people are more likely to open up and have a chat with you, or maybe have lunch with you, or spend time with you because you provide some of value. Just also let's talk about public speaking. Public speaking is one of the top fears that people have. People are more scared about public speaking than even jumping off a plane because the fear of judgment. Even the most successful people who have spoken in front of people 1,000 times in front of big audiences will get nervous. It's very common because your brain goes into fight or flight mode. It's not normal to do that jumping off a plane. When you go 10,000 feet up in the air and you're excited to jump off a plane, you're fine going up, but as soon as you look down, you're like, whoa, your body goes into a fight or flight mode. It's natural. It just kicks in, and you just have to push yourself and you just do it anyway. It's just like public speaking. If you're speaking in front of people, you push yourself and doing it, because those butterflies and nervous you get, once you get on stage and you're prepared for obviously the speech, the nervousness goes away. Once you get the first couple of words out of your mouth, it just starts to flow. I've spoken in front of people, I've had it just happen, again, nervous as well too, but when you start talking, it just flows. And you have to realize that these people have never, a lot of time, heard of you before. They don't know what you're going to talk about, but you also realize that person wished it could be you on stage talking, and they wouldn't even have the guts to get on stage. The fact you had the guts to get on stage and talk, they would look at you in awe. You inspire them. So you have to realize the more you pitch yourself in uncomfortable situations, the more skill sets that you gain, and other people will come to you because they're uncomfortable with that skill set, ask for your advice, and then now you become even more comfortable with that because now they're coming to you for advice. And this could be anything. You could be trying to learn basketball. You could be worldwide basketball. You will get a coach. The ability to ask for help, it's a sign of confidence. A lot of people don't have that ability to ask for help because they have too much ego, and the ego prevents them from moving up their entire life, and they're 60, 70, 80 years old, and then in a retirement home, or worse of all, you're in your deathbed looking back, I wish I did this, I tried this, I tried that. And people just look back and they realize that nobody really cared. But the only limitations that you have are in your brain. Nobody else is limiting you besides you yourself. If you really want something, you can do it, but you have to make yourself uncomfortable and go out and attack it and achieve it, because you guys fucking know how to do it. So those are the 5 habits that have had a substantial impact on my life and changed my life forever. I hope you guys internalize even one of these habits and make them part of your daily routine, and hopefully can maybe have an impact on your life. It's small incremental changes that have a butterfly effect into your future self that compound over time, the better version of yourself that you want to become. And every one of you guys watching this video has a capability. Guys, thank you for watching this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel for more motivational and value-packed content. My goal is to help you guys become better versions of yourself so you guys can improve your mindsets and get the success that you deserve. I will see you guys on the next video.